What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and Packers fans, it's finally time. It's that time of year, draft season, and with that comes my first Packers 2022 mock draft of this cycle. Should be a fun cycle again, and maybe not have the firepower as other classes, but still an intriguing one nonetheless. So let's kick things off here in the right way with a Packers mock draft. This one will be a little different for those who have been around long on this channel. Is I usually went through the mock beforehand on a simulator and put it together in slides for you guys. This time we're going to do it live here on the simulator. I'm going to have to make the picks in real time here and kind of make adjustments on the fly to what I see in terms of draft prospects, and it's going to be a fun little exercise here. We're going to use the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. If you haven't used that, aggregates mock drafts, big boards, and it's a really great resource. Also has a newsletter to check that out as well for updates on mock drafts and all that stuff. Without further ado, though, let's get into this Packers mock draft here. So we're going to get rolling. And again, I have no clue who's going to fall. You know, it's a simulator. Obviously, you know, you really never know what's going to happen. Some simulators go a little crazy. This one stays usually true to kind of how things could go. So there might be some options here for the Packers at 28. Not Nakobe Dean, unfortunately. Okay, so Packers have some options here. Couple of the top, Penning, Leal, Dotson, Elam. I think Penning would be interesting just because, again, if Billy Turner's not back, you know, maybe that's a guy you can come in and play right tackle for you. He's got that Muller mentality. I think I'm probably sticking edge, and I'm going to go down the list a little bit here. I think on the Devontae White, DeMarvin Leal, both interesting. I just don't know about Leal in terms of where he plays. That's the struggle I'm having with him. Wide receivers, I'm not overly thrilled with. Could go corners. We just don't know about the room. I'm gonna err on the side of production here. Now I'm gonna take Cameron Thomas. So Cameron Thomas, San Diego State, 3-year guy. Didn't get to see him at the Senior Bowl, unfortunately. Would have loved to see how he performed there, but a guy who I think has, you know, multiple roles on a defensive line and you can get creative with. I think you can put him at some 3-tech 4-eye and he can work that quickness to attack gaps and succeed against the run. And I think you can get him out on 5-tech on the edge and let him win the corner a little bit, win inside. Again, 20.5 tackles for loss in 2021 for the Aztecs. So a productive player. And I think really when you look at the Packers, I think Gary and Thomas could form a really fun duo out there. Thomas hustles hard. You know, he's got good hand usage, good power. Just got to put it all together. You know, kind of a moldable piece like Gary is a little bit. So I like that a lot for the Packers at 28. Here at 59, oh, easy peasy. If John Mechie is here, we're going that direction. Don't care what else. I think it's possible he falls to this point. Again, I think the John Mechie hype took a peak in the summer. I think when you saw him, and right, it was like, oh, the next Alabama receivers, automatically excellent elite player. Maybe cooled off a little bit too much during the season on John Mechie. Obviously suffered an injury, so that's something to monitor with him in terms of that knee. But overall, what on tape, what I saw, I love this guy really in round 2 for the Packers. Again, a real natural separator, inside or outside, a good technician, understands how to use his eyes, head, shoulders to kind of manipulate defenders. Good separator at every level. And again, a guy who's pretty slippery and has good vision after the catch. The lateral toolbox is there for him. I think he can do a little bit better at attacking, securing the football at the catch point. But overall, I like John Mechie a lot. I think especially if in this scenario, right, we're kind of assuming Rodgers and Adams will be back because those are the picks the Packers only have right now. So I think you have Adams and Mechie. I love that duo a lot. Trust me. That's one that Packers fans will like a ton. So here, there are some options at 92. Linebacker is certainly in play. D-line, I'm a little cooled on. Could double dip at edge. Probably not going to do that. Offensive tackle interests me. Safety interests me. I do think I'm probably going to lean tight end here. And again, I'll say this, and I'll try to keep this a little bit more realistic. Sometimes the simulators drop some guys. So I think based on what I see at linebacker and a lot of what I like there, I'm probably going to go this direction. I kind of like what I still see at safety. D-line's not my favorite. I'll look for offensive line. Could go corner. Could double dip at receiver, but no Christian Watson here. I'm not a big fan of Brandon Smith, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna reach down a little bit because I think Ruckert and guys like Lightly and Weidermeyer, I think they'll be gone. I think we'll probably be looking at something like this for the Packers here. I'm gonna roll with the hometown guy, Jake Ferguson at tight end. This may seem like a reach to some, I understand, but again, a guy who works really well in line, again, in a pro style at Wisconsin. This was a run heavy group. You needed to be able to handle it on the edge in line in terms of what the tight end was asked to do. So I like that Ferguson offers that. And I like that he's a really good hands catcher. I think the routes showed up well in Mobile, which is a good thing against top competition. I think he's a double phase guy who you have now with DeGuara in a room that needs a little bit of juice to it. And I do think Jake Ferguson can help that. All right, here we have 2 picks in the 4th, which is nice. And yeah, so one of them is going to be, I believe, Nick Cross for me, unless I really love somebody at edge here. Ooh, you know what? So this may seem like a reach. Oh, I don't know. Many questions. Let's get the safety first. Let's get Nick Cross from Maryland. I think this is a solid pick here when you look at, what the Packers do at safety right now. They have Amos and Savage. I still think Nick Cross can be a guy who, again, moves around a little bit like they have with these versatile safeties. And you have a guy who has good ball skills and good range, I think, instincts to play in that single high, 2 high look. And he can drop down and fill and hit hard as a tackler, too. So I think there's a good skill set there and a guy who's got great value on day 3 for the Packers to start things off. I do think that is a fun addition to the unit. Here, there are some options still at defensive line. I know pushing this so far down, and I don't think Packers fans are going to love that. I get it. But there are plenty of guys I'm still interested in. Oh, do I hang out? Do I wait at line? I'm not going to wait at linebacker any longer. I'm going to go Troy Anderson from Montana State. We just don't know if Devondre Campbell's going to be back or not. So I think you look at a guy in Anderson who I think tests pretty well at the combine this coming week. And a guy I think who has good instincts, and I think he can run and chase and operate in coverage as well. So again, you're getting a guy who I think can continue to get better in terms of his reads, in terms of his keys, getting downhill, but also have that coverage ability, hustle, motor, all that stuff in a great tackler in space as well. I think that'd be a great value as well for the Packers on day 3 to start things off. 170 for the Packers here. Yeah, lost out on Waletzko. That's a guy I actually really like. Because I do think O-line, they're going to go this direction. I just don't know what they're going to do. So I think I'm going to go defensive line here, unless there's a receiver I really like at this spot to double dip, which I really don't. Yeah, I think I'm going to go D-line here. Let's get some more help up front to stop the run. I like Thomas Booker. I think Butler probably rises a little bit too much to be selected there. I do think Booker is a really good 3-tech 2-eye type player who can shade well against the run, but he can also attack gaps. I think his hand usage is very good, and from how he sounded at the Shrine game, he seems like a guy who studies a lot, puts in the work, and a guy who's going to be good on film and understand where he needs to be, understand where to attack, and he'll be that guy who makes adjustments on Sundays. I just think the football IQ there is something really worth it if you're talking about that. Okay. So I think we're going to go. Yeah, I think I have a pretty good idea. So here's our selection so far, if you're still interested here. Cameron Thomas, John Mechie, Jake Ferguson, Nick Cross, Troy Anderson, and Thomas Booker. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at tackle. I think I'm going to roll with a guy who has tackle experience. Ooh, which do I go here? I'm gonna opt. I want to pick Volson because he's got guard tackle versatility, but I think DeMarc showed a lot at the combine. I'm really impressed with the type of player he is in terms of pass sets, in terms of footwork, and handling speed to power rushers. I think the anchor's good enough. I think he showed a lot at the Shrine game. I really do, and I think this is an underrated pass protector in a unit that, again, still needs depth along the offensive line. I think, Nyman obviously offers you a third tackle. I still think going tackle makes sense just because they love that type of experienced guy. I think other guys that look there, Logan Bruss and Volson, are two guys who are tackles who can probably shift inside to play guard at the next level. So either one of those three I'd be okay with. Here late, yeah, I'm going to go receiver again here because there's a player that I think makes a lot of sense and may not be the first guy you think of. But again, I think the Packers need to add still speed. And Jalen Naylor is a little smaller. So that's one option. But I'm going to go Mekhi Polk here, wide receiver on Mississippi State. He's got the long, wiry frame, little taller guy that the Packers would probably like if they don't get, a guy in Marquez Valdes-Scantling back and he goes somewhere else. I think you get a guy who's got that deep threat profile, can go up and win the ball a little bit too with the catch radius and impressive jumping skills. So you get a player who can fill that MVS role, and you've got your two underneath 3-level separators in Mechie and Adams who will help give Polk these opportunities to either find holes in zone coverage deep. Maybe, you're working on a corner route. Maybe you're working, 9-8-9 up the post. Is going to give him opportunities to win downfield, and I think he can do that for this offense. Let's round it out here with a funny pick. Yeah, Packers fans, we need long snapper. We need special teams. Cal Adamitis is a good player for Pitt, good long snapper. I think that, special teams, you got to address it like that. It just has to happen. So I think Adamitis is a good little finisher there for the Packers. So there's the list of picks. I'll scroll down just a little bit here. Yeah, there's a list of picks. Cameron Thomas, edge from San Diego State. John Mechie, wide receiver, Alabama. Jake Ferguson, tight end from Wisconsin. Nick Cross, safety from Maryland. Troy Anderson, linebacker, Montana State. Thomas Booker, D-line, Stanford. Ryan Van DeMark, the tackle from UConn. Mekhi Polk, wide receiver out of Mississippi State. And we finish up with Cal Adamitis, a long snapper. So there you go. There you have it. There is the first mock draft of the 2022 NFL draft season on this channel for the Packers. It was a fun mock. If you guys like this format, I'll continue to go with this format throughout draft season. If you like the slideshow, like explanations throughout the slides on the picks, I'll go back to that. So let me know in the comments what you like most in terms of the formatting for this. Throw a like and subscribe down there. Maybe if you're new, keep supporting the channel. We got a lot more stuff coming for you guys in terms of draft, in terms of Packers, in terms of film room. So stick around for it. I'll see you guys in the next one, though. Farewell.